I'm Gail, and I'm the Artistic Director of Link Dance Foundation. And I started working on this project Experiments 3 years ago now, because I began working with a group of scientists back in 2007, and I found their ideas to be quite interesting. And I guess especially I love the way they talk about their ideas. I found it to be quite poetic and so direct. But also because the language of their work has a lot to do with lines and shape, scale and magnitudes, and things that you could really relate quite easily to dance, I began to think, wow, that would be an interesting collaboration, dance and the ways that science get represented abstractly. Yeah. Well, I think one of the things, anybody who has spent their life near an artist, they know that artists are obsessed by their work in so many ways, and they're always very high or very low, and or have a lot of humor about their work, but they're impassioned. And anybody who has spent any portion of their life around scientists will know that most scientists who are good at what they do are equally impassioned, highly curious, and very creative thinkers. And I think that the similarity between art and science is mainly contained in that emotion of passion. We are driven to understand more deeply the things that we investigate. The translation of the ideas of science in this piece are done through some props. We use cubes in this piece. The cubes are used all over the place, and also larger versions of the cubes, which are larger blocks. The cubes and the blocks play a metaphorical role where they're like moments of inspiration. They are data points on a graph. They compose a grid, a very systematic way of thinking, but it's the way the systematic way of thinking then gets altered and messed with and reconfigured. That becomes a very interesting commentary on how systematic thinking about nature is interesting and useful, but is only a snapshot, or really you could almost say is a cartoon of the complexity that nature really is. And so that's another translation of an idea from the conversations that we've had with the scientists. I think people should come to see this show because beautiful dancing is a wonderful thing to see, and it can be transported, it can be transformative for an audience member without a whole lot of content. Just the act of a physical exertion and beautiful movement is a beautiful thing to see. But people should come to see the show because there's incredibly beautiful movement in it. There's a lot of really, really creative ideas and a combination of collaborators in video, sound, choreography, and scenography coming together to build these images. But at the core of this is a very, very profoundly important subject matter. And that is the influence of science in our lives.